Welcome back to the Two Pointers podcast. We're super excited to introduce, like you saw in the trailer this past week, Trivia Showdown. We're here with episode 1. Hopefully the next couple of weeks we'll have a lot of former guests. It'll be a lot of fun, some really, really fun. And like we've prefaced to guest number 1 and guest number 2, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see who it is just now. If you're listening, you'll hear in just a moment. But maybe some difficult trivia. We'll find out. That'd be a lot of fun. Josh and I put this together. It's kind of a nice break for us, but also not a break from content. You guys are going to enjoy this. We're super, super excited. Trivia Showdown is going to be a lot of fun. I'll go ahead and introduce both the guests because the whole point of Trivia Showdown is it's former guests. It's not new people. You guys are excited to see these people back. So I would say not that long of a return for one of them and a little bit of a long return on the other. But really quick, I'll introduce guest number 1. Actually, I'll go ahead and introduce them both. Grayson from the now 1009 podcast, as well as he's done our trivia finale 2 years in a row. So he's on the other end of the bill. And then on the other side, after Grayson's done talking and introducing himself, we'll have Nick LaVere as well from NABL. Super excited to have him back on. Give us an NABL update. And then as quickly as possible, we're going to get right back into trivia. So, Grayson, really quick, catch people up who might be new here. Trivia Showdown's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me back on, especially Trevor, given how you guys' trivia finale ended. But happy to be back. A little bit scared to be on this end of trivia, but I have no doubt that me and Nick will struggle through together and get some entertaining answers in for you guys. Like Trevor mentioned, I now have my own podcast inspired by these two. Big part of that. Me and my 2 college roommates talk all kinds of sports, mostly baseball right now. But as football season gets kicked off, we will transition to almost exclusively that, and then NBA, of course, as the fall progresses. But yeah, about a dozen episodes in, really excited and happy to be back here with these two.
Really quick, Nick, but just wanted to point this out really quick for those that are not new here listening. But Josh's trophy, I got an email update really quick. I know this is so random. We're talking about trivia. People are going to hear this anyway. I got a supplier update delay email. So the trophy's on the way, but I can't help supply and demand. So, Josh, again, I'll have Grayson hand sign it 2 years in a row.
Maybe if we'd ordered it in July of 21 instead of July 22.
Instead of July of 22. Yeah, it's on the way. Without further ado, Nick, our friend from NABL, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. Thanks for having me back on again. I know I haven't been on in a while, and I want to give some updates on the National Ability Basketball League. So I've been having a lot of business meetings with a lot of different special needs organizations out there, and I'm going to be launching a website soon. We got everything ready to go. It's just that, unfortunately, LegalZoom, I've been having a lot of issues with them. I bought the standard version for my organization to be official nonprofit organization. I was supposed to get all my paperwork in 3 weeks ago, and it's kind of frustrating because now I can't really launch my website. I can't sign all these partnership and sponsorship deals that I have with a lot of different organizations out there until I not only get my paperwork, but to be able to fill it all out. So those are the updates on NABL.
Otherwise, how have you been otherwise? I know the Bulls, last time we talked to you, I think the Bulls we got an update, I think it was called Seeing Red. It was, I think it was November of last year, December maybe, when they were somewhere in that I think they were maybe first in the East or tied for second or something like that. So I know, how is the state of Chicago sports where you're at?
I think it's going good. They had a pretty good season last year, especially, a lot of the so-called experts out there thought they would be like a play-in team and stuff like that. So we proved them wrong from that aspect. But, no, I see another pretty good solid year. We'll definitely make the playoffs. I think we'll avoid the play-in. We'll be somewhere in the top 6, but I don't know how much further we'll go than that.
Josh, I said this last time I was on. It's always more fun when Chicago basketball it's just better. Like it's just more fun sometimes. So, all right. Without further ado, like I said, these two aren't new here. So, multiple time appearances. Josh, without further ado, preface a little bit what we're doing with Trivia Showdown, the format, the amount of questions, etc., and then let's just kick this thing off. I'm super excited. These two know it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So. This idea kind of came from Trevor and I realizing that with our personal trivia competition that you all listening enjoy throughout the regular season, we don't get it in the off season typically. We thought it would be a good idea to kick it off with a lot of the guests that we brought on. We brought in a lot of different great personalities over the past couple of years who all know basketball. and we thought it'd be fun for us to turn around and see what we can do together coming up with questions. And just have a good time with having people face off, have a good trivia matchup between each other, and see who wins. We don't have a prize for you other than bragging rights. You can tout your victory. But we'll have a little trivia showdown and just have a good time.
For the first 10 weeks of the season, there's going to be a little ticker across the bottom of every YouTube video that says Nick LaVere is the Trivia Showdown champion with X amount of points, or Grayson, or whoever. It's going to be just a little ticker for 5 weeks. That's all I'm promising. So
you really know how to do that? I don't know if you know.
Yeah, no, I'm sure I can figure it out.
Okay.
I have no idea. Bragging rights would be a lot of fun either way.
Introing it, representing the Oklahoma City Thunder and the 1009 podcast, we have Grayson Hill, the guy who normally is on the other side hosting our trivia finale, and representing the Chicago Bulls and the National Ability Basketball League, Nick LaVere. So, without further ado, we will lead into the questions. You each have something to write on, yes?
Yep.
All right.
That's good.
So, Trevor and I will alternate through questions. There will be 10 questions. Only 2 of them are multiple choice. And then at the end, there will be a kind of bonus round where you'll get 60 seconds to give as many answers as possible to a question with multiple answers. Without further ado, we'll get into the first one. Starting off with a Charlotte Hornets themed question. It's the only one, I promise. Which former Charlotte Hornet is the only player to have his NBA jersey number retired by the Charlotte Hornets?
To preface, this is not a multiple choice. I don't know if he said that, but this is not a multiple choice, unfortunately. So, Hornets have only been around for, Josh, I think it's 26 years now coming up, or 25, or just out now, 25-year anniversary.
Yes.
So, most of our life, guys. Like, come on, this should be easy, right? Mm-hmm. This is Charlotte Hornets. You should have expected at least one Charlotte Hornets question.
Expected it, but I didn't know it'd be this question.
We're already one question in, and people are already starting to question the sanity of coming back on here. So this is good. We're excited. Whenever you guys are ready, Josh, they can hold up a thumbs up or hold up the paper, however you want to do it. We'll go one by one. We'll get it ready.
All right. Are you guys both ready? Do you have answers?
Yep.
All right. Grayson, go ahead and give your answer first.
I got Larry Johnson. Going with my gut. First name I thought of.
It's an awesome guess. That is incorrect, however.
I was afraid of that.
Nick, what did you have written down?
Dude, I have the same thing.
Larry Johnson.
Yes.
I don't know who else it would be.
Well, great minds think alike. Unfortunately, it's not correct. The correct answer is Bobby Phills. Bobby Phills played for the Hornets from 1987 to 2000, but unfortunately passed away as a member of the team, and his jersey number was retired to honor him.
25-year history, guys. Come on.
Yeah, I would have never known that one, so.
No.
Come on, guys. Bobby Phills? Oh, man. All right. That was a great question. Let's move on. I'm going to go and be a little nicer this time, and I'm going to give you multiple choice. It just happened to shake out that way. One of only 2 multiple choice, so don't get your hopes up.
Trying to make yourself look like the nice one.
No, yeah, well, maybe. So, this, however, you should not be shocked, is a Lakers-themed question. So, we're getting the 2 fandoms out of the way, and then we'll go on from regular NBA history from there. Which of these Lakers superstars did not appear in a feature film at any point in their life? Is it A, Shaquille O'Neal, B, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, C, James Worthy, or D, Kobe Bryant? I can read the answer choices again if it would be easier. I'll do it one more time. Shaquille O'Neal, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Worthy, and Kobe Bryant. So, and while they're writing their answers down, we are not timing any of these questions. Obviously, there will be a legitimate limit if it starts to feel like you guys are just sitting there thinking for 3 hours. But the only one that has a per se time limit is going to be the final question, the bonus round. So just think it through. Shaq, Kareem, Worthy, Kobe.
It's a shame you didn't make it easier on him and not put LeBron in there.
Yeah, so, you know what's funny? We talked about it, and I'm pretty sure I included LeBron in the answer choices I sent to you.
At
but
first,
what's funny,
yeah.
At first I said, he literally appeared in a movie like 2 years ago that I remember.
He was in a
I don't remember the name.
blockbuster last year.
Yeah, and I don't remember
Space
the name.
Jam 2.
Well, Space Jam, obviously, but I was thinking about the other one that he was in a couple years ago. I don't remember the name of it now. Starstruck, maybe? Something like that, but either way. He was in a movie. Are you guys ready with your answers?
Yep, I got mine.
I'll go with Nick first this time. We'll flip it.
Well, I think
Talk it out.
I'm going with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay. Grayson? I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. Go ahead.
All right.
I'm going to wait to reveal it.
That's between Kareem and Worthy. Went with Worthy, so it probably was Kareem.
You're doubting yourself already. The correct answer is James Worthy. James Worthy only appeared in TV shows so far, according to, and I'm going to quote it. It's not going to be on the screen or anything. I don't know why I'm doing this, but it's going to be in the bottom. I'm going to be quoting IMDb. So if it's incorrect, then either you two or the listeners can flame IMDb, not me, at IMDb on Twitter. All right, Josh, it's 1-0. I'll put a little trivia.
As for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar
right
was
here.
in, he was in the
I would
film
not list them.
Airplane, which is, I think that's probably his most well-known one that he was
True.
in, and then also Game of Death. So.
I forgot about that one. I knew it was either Kareem or Worthy. Yeah.
It's all good.
All right.
All right.
So, question 3. Which NBA team sent 4 players to the NBA All-Star Game in the year 2015? You will get a bonus point if you can name those 4 players. So, if you think you have the team, go ahead and write that down, and then start trying to jot down who those 4 players are. So I'll repeat the question while you guys are thinking. Which NBA team sent 4 players to the NBA All-Star Game in 2015?
So when I wrote this question, I thought about it, and I went, 2015, that was only... Oh, wait, that wasn't 5 years ago. That
7
was
years ago.
Almost 8 years ago. So
Yeah.
put that out there for just people who might be newer to the NBA if they are listening to this. Thanks for being here. But also, 2015, if we all want to feel old, that was almost 8 years ago. So, yeah. Ouch. When I saw this question, I couldn't believe that was how long it was. Almost a decade coming up. Nuts.
You keep stretching that out. It's like
it's
7 years.
8,
You're like, almost a decade. No, not really.
Closer to a decade than not. I mean,
Yeah, I guess.
a long time. Longer than we. Look, at the end of the day, we're aging basketball fans, okay? That's all I can be really honest with here. If you feel like you can't get the players, but just the team, no big deal. But if you guys are ready, thumbs up whenever you can. I like the head shrugs and the head shakes. This is good.
Man, this is tough. I don't know.
We can give you a little bit more time.
Yeah, for you two and those that are listening, don't worry. These two are not going to be the only ones that are going to be struggling mightily. This will be a common theme with Trivia Showdown.
We're getting better at this than when we had Dan on, and we thought we came with like this stupid, difficult Chicago Bulls trivia, and he got all of them right.
Yeah.
We asked him questions about the Bulls from like 100 years ago, and he was getting the questions correct.
Yeah, and every time that he couldn't, Evan was like, I think it's this, but Dan, just go with your gut. It worked out. They went 10 for 10 for those that haven't listened. That was a long time ago, but that episode was really fun. So they went 10 for 10 on what we called, like Josh said, very, very difficult Chicago Bulls trivia. So this is a long form one, so definitely no rush here. But if you feel like you're ready, again, I am. I'll also say this too. There will be a point counter on YouTube. So if you're listening to this on Apple, Spotify, whatever, listen to it, download 5-star, and then come over to YouTube and listen again, so you can see the score update I have on the screen. But
It's currently 1-0 Grayson. It looks like Nick's ready.
All right.
Yeah.
Looks like we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So we'll go back.
100%,
We'll
but
go
yeah.
to Grayson first. Grayson, what team sent 4 players to the All-Star Game in 2015?
I had the Warriors.
Oh.
And what were the players you wrote down?
Steph, Clay, Draymond, and the Finals MVP Andre Iguodala.
Okay. Nick, can you give us your answer?
You know what's hilarious? I wrote the Warriors too, but I didn't write the players' names. But I would have said those 4 players too. But I wrote the Warriors as well.
Okay.
So read that.
When Trevor asked me this question yesterday, I also said the Warriors. And like you guys, I was also incorrect. The correct answer is the Atlanta Hawks. Sent 4 players in 2015. Those players were Al Horford, Paul Millsap,
right.
Jeff Teague, and Kyle Korver.
Korver.
Wow.
Yeah. 7 years was a long time ago. The Hawks were good with a completely different set of players than the ones they have now.
Yeah, what was funny is I really thought Josh was going to go, oh, wow, well, great guesses and great choices with those answers. However, it doesn't matter because those aren't the right players. I was hoping you both wrote players down for that reason, but it's all good. That was a tough one.
Trevor's...
I tried
really
tried to help a
vindictive
little
about this, apparently.
I tried my best to help there. I was like, hey, 2015, that was a while ago. You know, I tried to be like, hey, wink, wink, it was a while ago, you know, but I didn't give that much, man. Wasn't that much, right? All right, moving on. We are going to go, and it's still 1-0 through 3 questions. Unfortunately, once again, this one is not multiple choice. Who is the only player in NBA history to have 3 sons play in the NBA? Bonus point if you can name those 3 sons. So you're actually technically getting multiple. You're getting so far 12 points in opportunities. So think about the player, NBA history, to have 3 sons in the NBA. And then if you're confident, name the 3 sons.
And to clarify, because I'm realizing this sounds weird off the top, we're talking sons as in his children and not members of the Phoenix Suns.
As soon as I said it.
Because I think I would have, I
it.
probably would confuse it that way.
Yeah, confusingly enough. Sorry.
Yeah.
As soon as I read it, I went, sons. Oh, that sounds terrible. His children. His children that have played in the NBA. We can talk out loud for a little bit as you guys are writing. Don't worry. Don't feel like you have to when you're thinking. But any thought process, anything that you want to give that might not give it to the other person? Anybody have like any inkling, any era maybe? Like, are we? This is Josh and I trying to fill time and just. See
It's a while back. I actually know this answer. I think.
Oh, all right.
Wow.
At least
All right.
one. All right, that's good.
I'm in trouble then.
The good thing about trivia with us, at least like we've learned over the last 2 years, it's been our marquee segment, is if you're confident, then you might be okay. But just be thinking what the other one could be, because you have time. You know, just if it could be a different one, think about it. You know, I'm not trying to throw you off the scent. I'm just trying to make sure that all avenues are explored.
Yeah, because originally I thought the question was just 3 brothers or siblings that played. That would have been easy.
Yeah.
That's an easy one.
Unfortunately, it's not. So, if you are locking in at any point in the next minute or so, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and then we'll roll into that.
Looks like Nick's ready. Grayson is still thinking.
Yeah.
Still
You're good. Take your time. Take your time.
I'm good.
He's ready. All right.
All right. Without further ado, the player that
Wait,
we are
have
looking
them give
for.
the answer.
Oh yes.
Give their answers.
No.
I guess
Go
it
ahead,
would
Trevor.
work.
No,
Yeah, it would have worked. Yeah.
Grayson's
sure.
like, oh.
Nick, go right
I
ahead.
was about to
Sorry.
start talking, and
Yeah.
I was letting you do your thing, man.
Go ahead, Nick.
But the answer is Rick Barry.
Okay, Grayson.
And
it's
then-
only-
Wait,
I'm
like
gonna do-
Nick
we'll-
give the
we'll do
names
the-
of the 3 sons.
Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
go ahead.
So it's Brett Barry, Drew Barry, and John Barry.
All right, and then Grayson.
Okay.
It's not right. He only had 2, but I said Del Curry because I knew Steph and Seth. That was my best
All right,
guess.
I like the little back and forth. Like it might not be right. Oh, okay, I like it. The correct answer is Rick Barry, and Nick's gonna walk away with 2 points here because the correct answer with the Suns is Brent, John, and Drew. Most people
he's got
remember
'em.
Brent Barry, and most people remember John Barry, but Drew Barry had a very, very, very short stint in the NBA. But he did play. My only fun fact I had, and I tried to have some fun facts, and I hope Josh has a couple as well. We tried to come up with some to have it be interesting. Fun fact, Brent Barry is a NBA dunk contest winner. Brent Bones Barry won the NBA dunk contest in 1999. So I don't know if that
You won
really
a
matters.
dunk contest?
He did. When it this was a long week. We had to figure out a week's worth of this stuff, and I had to come up with something, and that blew my mind. I knew it, but that's cool, you know.
It's
Rick Barry.
wild that 99 also is in that realm where Vince Carter and T Mac would have been the guys that were competing in the dunk contest.
Yep. And 1975 Finals MVP Rick Barry. So good pull, man. Right now it's not a huge deficit. That's not. Grayson stole
2
the
to
point
1.
earlier.
Or yet, but
2
that was
to
a good
1.
one. Yeah.
2-1. I really thought that one was going to stump people, but that's good, man. That's NBA history knowledge pulling right out of the back of the brain. Good job, Nick. All right, Josh. Question number 5.
All right. Sticking on the theme of NBA fathers, what father of a current NBA player was the first number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft that was not from America? So, who was the first number 1 pick in the NBA draft history who was not from America, and he is the father of a current NBA player?
Yeah, I thought, Josh, last question I tried is there any ideas, any inclination, anything? And I had a feeling that this is probably not going to be a common theme. People are not going to be very chatty. We're going to have to do a very good job of bridging the gap in this. So, yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see where people go with this.
This was one where I thought I felt good about the answer when we were going through, and I was just really wrong.
This is a really good question, man. This is a really good question.
Is it a good question because you think you might know it, or is it a good question because you know it for sure? Just curious.
It's a great question because I think it's something that I should know, but I don't.
Okay, that's good.
Oh,
See,
yeah,
I like
exactly
the
where I'm
I
at.
like the honesty with this. This is
It's
good.
the honesty. Yeah.
The goal of this is to make people realize that there are some really cool things in the NBA all time, and this is one of them. So, whenever you two are ready, no rush, but just want to see if we can get a lock in.
They're both still thinking here.
Yeah, no, I'm just.
That's what I'm
keeping
saying.
track.
I might not
Yeah.
even have an answer. Like this is a really good one.
If you're stumped, you can kind of use the hint that's built in. It's
Thank you.
the father
Exactly.
of a player who currently plays in the NBA.
Right.
So if you
That's
start
where I'm
thinking
trying to
about
go, and I'm still.
guys who have an NBA father, just as a way to kind of streamline some of your thinking.
To be fair, that question or that answer or that whatever hint you want to call it was put in there for a reason. I'll just throw that out there. That's a nugget, Josh. Thank you for reminding them because that was thrown out there for a reason.
I thought it was a little too difficult otherwise.
It was, and this is, it's not obviously some hints could be deceiving, whatever maybe, but like that one is not to lead you astray. That one is to help you. So, I also, to be fair, I mentioned I don't know if I said this on recording or before, but I took these questions per se. I tried to take them before, like because I found them and answered them, whatever. This was one of the ones I did not get right, to be fair, and I have been on record multiple times to say that I used to be able to quote every single first overall pick from like 69 on. So haven't done that quiz in a long time, but that's just a nugget there.
Wait, so you found these questions somewhere? I made up my my
Well,
share of the questions I made
but
up.
I fact checked them and then made sure I understood them, make sure they were correct, all
Yeah.
that stuff. So I like took them per se, like I tried to answer them. I thought about them. Some of them I did find, I'm sure, but
Huh?
I don't remember. It's been 7 days. I tried to take my time with these,
Yeah.
But same thing. I mean, we came up with these together, so this is good. I'm glad you put that extra thought and effort into it, though. I'm sure these two guys appreciate how hard these are. Yeah.
I don't even think who was the most recent foreign player to go first in the NBA draft.
Don't help that much.
No,
I
I'm
was about
just
to say,
thinking like in my head who the most recent one was.
Bennett, maybe?
it would be been. Oh yeah, I didn't think about Canadians. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's Canadian? Anthony Bennett?
Yep.
Yeah.
Huh, how about that?
He said, "Huh? How about that?"
Shay's trying to rehab that image as we speak. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Honestly, if the Canada guys like really started playing for the Canadian national team, they can make some waves. But most of them just don't.
All right, I'm gonna be Pat Stachula here, and I'm gonna say that we're getting close on time. We're gonna see.
Yeah.
fine, yeah.
We might as well. I don't even have an answer to tell you the truth. I don't know.
All right.
Let's go to Grayson
Anthony-
first.
Say Anthony Bennett Sr. just to do it. I don't know.
Nick, any guesses off the top of your head?
Any guesses?
It's not like both of you had 3 minutes to write this down.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't have an answer. I really don't know.
All right.
Uh-oh.
So, in 1978, Michael Thompson was selected first in the NBA draft. His son Clay
Clay.
currently starts for
wow.
the Golden State Warriors.
no
Michael
points.
Thompson was from the Bahamas.
Oh, I was gonna give him a chance to see if they could name where he's from for no points,
Nah.
but no points,
I
no
probably
freebie,
got
no
that.
freebies, no Bahamas, no Buddy Hield, no. All right. Anyway, that was a good question. It's all right. Hey, again, I said this earlier. Did not get this one right as well, so do not feel bad. That one is whoo. And what I was gonna say this earlier while we had that little lull there between you guys thinking. Obviously, listen to the future episodes of this, you guys. Listen, not just the listeners, but you guys as well. Listen and just so you know that you're not up against the wall for no reason. Like there will be some other themes that are very, very difficult. So,
Grayson, I mean, I told you that I was afraid it might be 0-0 going to the bonus round. Look at this, 2-1. You guys are doing great.
Yeah, we got our 3 combined after
Yeah.
4 questions, maybe. So we're,
yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
hit the
we're
over, I
doing
guess.
something.
And there's
I'll
a
do it.
multiple choice question here up next, so here we go.
I'll do a real quick temperature check. How do you think you're feeling so far? Grayson first.
I'd feel better if there was more than one more multiple choice question. I'll say that.
Okay.
But yeah,
Nick, how
long
you
way to
feeling?
go. We'll be okay.
I mean, you hyped this up to the point where you might have thought that we would both have 0, so I'm doing okay. Doing all right.
All right,
Yeah.
really quick score update. The I believe it's Nick 2 and Grayson 0. I'm pointing at the side that
Grayson
they're on
has
the
one.
screen. We're at one.
He's got
Sorry,
one.
one. Sorry. See, this is why YouTube. Thank you, YouTube audience. You're going to see it right here. All right, we'll go next. Like Grayson said, the final multiple choice
See,
question.
he's
of the
got
evening.
he's got one.
He's got
There we go.
one.
Yeah, just remind him. There we go.
I love it. Hopefully that reminder's not there for the rest of the night. So, all right, really quick, let's roll next into question number 6. We officially made it through halfway. This is, like Grayson said, the only multiple choice question left, unfortunately. So, who is the only player in NBA history to retire with more career block shots than points scored? Is it A, Manute Bol, B, Sean Bradley, C, George Mirasan, and D, Sim Bhullar? For no bonus points, if you can tell me who the heck Sim Bhullar played for in his NBA career, I will give you a high five next time I see you in person. Just kidding. Who is the only player in NBA history to retire with more career block shots than points scored? Manute Bol, Sean Bradley, George Mirasan, and Sim Bhullar. For those that are newer to basketball that are listening to this show, because we know you're probably out there, it's okay if you don't know who 3 of those people are. As long as these guys know who 3 of these people are. 2 of them, maybe. 3 of
I
them.
feel like you should know who at least 2 of them are.
Yeah, no, 2 is probably fair.
One of them follows me on Twitter.
Okay, as you're writing your answer down, let's
We
get a
just
story
won.
time.
We need that.
It's Sim Bhullar, isn't it?
No, that doesn't mean I know the answer. I'm just saying one of them follows me on Twitter.
It's Sim Bhullar, isn't it?
No, it's not.
I would have guessed it's Sean Bradley. I don't know. I mean, that's would be my guess. He seems like a... What?
It's not Sean.
Well, okay, so really quick. I know it's not Manute Bol. Rest in peace, Manute Bol. But so by process of elimination, it's got to be George Mirasan.
It is George.
Wow.
I knew it was a 1 and 3. Okay, like again, rest in peace. But man, okay, yeah. For those that might not have known that. For the stat heads listening, also, we have stats to back this up, and we have stats that we will read for your consumption. So, if you guys are ready, I will read the answer whenever you're ready.
So, I'm not gonna lie. I'm still thinking a little bit.
Okay. All right. The pen putting down seems like it might be a good thing. Grayson, are you thinking you're good?
Yeah, I'm good. Well,
I'm good.
I think.
Remember
All right.
to let them give you their answers first.
Thank you. Yeah. Sorry.
You don't have to.
Yeah. All right. Who's up? I forgot my question. I forgot who's up.
I think it switches to Nick goes first now.
Yeah, I think mix up now.
All right. Go right ahead.
Bobo.
Okay. Grayson.
Yeah, we got Manute Bol as well.
Okay. Really quick. Any thought process around why it might be Manute Bol? From either of you, it doesn't matter. I don't care.
Try to think, who do I associate most of blocks? And as tall as he is, I'm hoping that that plays well in my favor.
Same thing, Nick. Tall.
Yeah, pretty much for the most part, and a lot of his career highlights out there. It was a lot of block shots, so that's why I kind of went by.
All right. Well, I'll tell you who it's not really quick. It's not Sim Bhullar, who played 1 game in his NBA career, and he played a total of 6 minutes. Now, he probably could have statistically. Unfortunately, that's not Sim Bhullar. It's not George Mirasan, and it's not Sean Bradley. It is Manute Bol, correct for both
There
of
we
you.
go.
Wow.
I will give you a little stat breakdown before we go and total up the points really fast. Manute Bol averaged 2.6 points per game and 3.3 blocks per game in his NBA career. Now, that does not sound that bad when you look at it. Stats, points per game aren't everything, right? We all understand that. When you look at it as total, it's a little more convincing. 1,500, and 99 total points in his 13-year, by the way, NBA career. 14 if you count his 1 year in Italy to end his basketball career. And then 2,086 blocks. He had almost 600 more block shots than points per game.
Wow.
So, that was our fun stat, making sure people know that this was correct and also was correct for both of you. So, Josh, score update really quick. I believe I got it wrong.
3-2 in favor of Nick LaVere.
All right. Perfect.
3-2. We've got 4 questions left, and then there's always the 60-second speed round at the end, which could always flip things as we're standing at only a 1-point
Correct.
game thus far. So our next question: who is the only coach in NBA history to have won both an NBA championship and an NCAA national championship
In their coaching career.
as a coach?
Thank Thank you.
The only coach in NBA history to have won both an NBA championship and an NCAA national championship.
Because that is probably going to be the first question you both ask if we didn't clarify coaching career. Because a lot of coaches played in the NBA. So this is the little touch of some other stuff. This is the Two Pointers podcast, right? We cover the NBA and college, right? We cover both sports, too. So this is a really nice nod to...
You cover both sports, too.
I'm just making sure people who are new here knew that. College.
They're the same sport. You can say they're the same sport.
Yeah,
it's different leagues.
Different leagues, that's fair.
Levels.
Two. Still, two. I tried to make that emphasis. I also need to get, we need to get a logo on our backdrop at some point. This is just me filling time, but just a fun little nugget there.
I have I'm ready to go. I think I'm pretty confident about this one.
Sounds fast buzzing. I like it.
Not a good sign.
What game show is there something similar like this where there's like a fast buzz in? I don't know.
But again, I could be wrong though. I'm just going by the first person that came in mind, and I think I'm pretty comfortable with this.
Okay, Grayson, where are you at? Don't reveal anything. Just talk out loud.
No. I can get one or the other. It's the two that's the issue.
Well,
and
yeah,
as
that's
a coach also adds a wrinkle. So yeah. I've got my random guess prepared at this point.
Okay. So Grayson, it's over to you as answering first this time. So Nick will go second. So
all right.
Give us your random guess you have prepared.
In trying to get on Josh's good side, we go with Tar Heel legend Dean Smith, which I know is not right, but I know he got one of them. So.
Just trying to get on the good side. Hey, Nick.
Hey, you get a half point for that?
What? No, he doesn't get a half point.
I'm going with Larry Brown.
So the correct answer is Larry Brown. It was a different former Tar Heel coach. In 1988, Brown won the national title at Kansas, and in 2004 was head coach of the Detroit Pistons, won an NBA championship.
Fun fact, Josh's favorite coach at Carolina. There's a reason I ordered these the way I did. I ordered these where he had to read that one. All right.
I don't
Larry
think
Brown.
there's a college program that Larry Brown has left that didn't find itself deep in NCAA violations immediately after his departure.
So you know what's funny is I remember him only for two reasons. For Detroit, of course, because that was the first year I watched basketball.
He's also one of the most successful coaches in Charlotte Hornets history.
Hornets history. We've actually been over that in our show before. Yeah, so I remember him on Detroit because that was first year watching basketball, and I also remember him for SMU, like you said, with the violations because that was the last place I remember him being in college. So, unfortunately, the tainted history of Larry Brown, but still the correct answer here. So, score update really quick again. I'm already forgetting again. I'm not writing anything down.
4-2, Nick LaVere.
Thank you, because I'm not writing anything.
Grayson has to rally now.
All right.
To make it interesting.
Question 8. 3 remaining. So, Josh and I have covered the TBT this year a little bit for the first time. We decided not to touch on it last year. So, and you guys are probably thinking, I thought this was NBA history trivia. It is. It has to do with TBT, though, because TBT is fun. The basketball tournament, those might not know. Overseas Elite is statistically the most dominant team in the history of the basketball tournament. Basketball tournament is coming up on its 10-year anniversary next year. They were the dominant team for the first couple of years of it. Do not, unfortunately, play, at least in this year's tournament, and have not played in some years past. But which current NBA player was the sponsor, so the founder, the sponsor, the person that funds that team, for Overseas Elite?
So it was not the founder, but he was the person who funded the team.
Sure. Yeah, I forgot there is a founder, and then there is
As an example,
funder.
Marcus Smart was funding one of the prominent TBT teams this season.
YGC, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Some fun facts of Overseas Elite. The TBT, I think, has had 7 tournaments. Overseas Elite has won 4 of them. They also had 3 in a row at one point. They're no longer competing because they told the organizers of the tournament that if they raised the pot from $1 million to $4 million, they'd come back. But otherwise, they said it was no longer worth their time.
Bold. And then they were the first real dynasty, I guess, technically, because then Bayhaz Army took over. So. Who, by the way, we haven't done a TBT segment. Bayhaz Army has been eliminated from TBT, so the prohibitive favorite. I know people are like,
his buddy was still on NBA rosters, hasn't made his way to the team yet.
Yeah, people are so excited to hear us give our TBT update in the middle of this question, but this is good filler. Currently, who was the other team that we both? The Money team is still in, and they are still kicking. So, at least as of last night.
How many games have they played?
They have played 2, I I think Jimmer went stupid. That's all I know.
Does Jimmer? So 2 games.
Jimmer
Jimmer
always
already has
knows nuts.
Yeah,
he already
went
has
stupid.
120 total points. Then 2 games deep.
Probably. To be fair, probably. So
That's a joke. I hope he doesn't actually have that because that'd be ridiculous. But
he had a really nice turnaround in the lane, like not a 3, but it was like a weird like little shake, and then the guy fell on the
he's
ground.
a guy that I just don't get why he's not in the NBA right now.
I'm
Because the
hoping
way
that
you
gives
see
him
the
an
way he
opportunity.
plays in China, he definitely is good enough to be on a roster. I wonder if he just makes more money.
In China?
China?
I don't know. I mean,
They
maybe on a
make good
min.
money.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but like, yeah.
You
Probably
got to realize
at
he's
minimum.
like probably one of the highest paid players in the Chinese Basketball Association.
Probably, and he would be on like a 2-way in the NBA. So
No, he's too old to be on a 2-way in the NBA.
not 2-way. What am I saying? Minimum, like a minimum.
Yeah, vet man.
Whatever. All right, enough filler. Where are we at, guys?
Getting random again for me. So
Yeah, I'm
Makes it a
getting
little
random
better.
too.
All right.
I'm just gonna write a name down there. I'm just gonna roll with it
All
at
right.
this point.
Nick answers first here.
Like I said, I have no idea. I'm just saying Bradley Beal.
Oh, okay. Grayson.
we can go with J.R. Smith. I'm going, yeah.
Thanks for making this interesting. Yeah. By the
To
way,
be
this
fair, the question was which current
Correct.
NBA player
Yeah.
Nah.
was
I think you said
sponsor.
golfer. That's not bad.
So for-
Not current college golfer, no.
if y'all couldn't figure out Grayson, we told Grayson to say that. This episode's sponsored by Hennessy, the official partner. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Trevor,
Okay.
is it okay if I give the answer to this? Because I wanna have more I want to talk about for the answer before Kevin.
Go right ahead.
So overseas elite, like we said, was a very dominant team. They were often headed up by their dominant guard Eric McCollum through their dominant run through overseas elite, and his younger brother CJ would decide to chip in a large amount of money to fund the team through their tournament runs.
I also saw Nick go because basically Bradley Beal was really close. I actually
Yeah.
have to say, like that's a similar guard, similar. Like I just thought that was really close. You could have said anybody. You said that's a
I
guy.
had an
Similar.
idea. I had an idea it was a shooting guard, and the only reason why Bradley Beal came to mind because he helps a lot with like AAU teams
Yeah.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and that's like the only. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. But Colin plays on that freaking team. I forgot about that.
Yep, that was. I'm really disappointed that he didn't like fund the Patriot League team that's in there because he's a alumni of the Patriot League. I was rooting for them, and they unfortunately lost in the first round of TBT. So, enough of my TBT love. So, Josh, go right ahead.
And shout out to Eric McCollum, probably the only time we'll talk about him here, but currently playing in the Turkish Basketball League professionally, so still career rolling. Former Euro Cup champion. And Grayson is gone. I wonder, did he quit? Oh, I know he's coming back. Okay.
He's like, I'm done. I lost already. I'm done. He said,
Hey,
I'm
you
done.
didn't lose that. You might have that bonus. You might
Yeah.
get me by a point. You never know.
Yep.
He could get these next 2 right, and it could be tied. Who knows going into
That's what I'm saying.
All right, so question 9. Speaking of CJ McCollum, this year CJ McCollum has taken over as the president of the National Basketball Players Association, taking over from Chris Paul, who headed up the Players Association for about 8 years, spearheading them through the last couple of collective bargaining agreements. Trivia question is, who was the NBPA president preceding Chris Paul? So who was the NBPA president before Chris Paul?
Open before CJ would be the question because I knew who that was. But
Yeah, I wasn't going to get
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay. Wow, this is
So for context here, what was Chris Paul's first year, Josh? Remind me again.
I think 2013 was his first
2013.
year as NBA Players Association president.
So this guy took over, so Chris Paul technically got him through. The 13 was the lockout, right? So basically he got them through.
The
part of that
lockout was
lockout.
in 2011, 2012. So this would have been 2011 NBA lockout. This player we're talking about led the Players Association through the last lockout.
Why did I think 13 was the lockout? That's so interesting. Oh, no, because that was the Heat's second championship. I don't know why I thought that. So, yeah, this is fun. I know that we all like to pride ourselves on being big NBA fans here, but do you call yourself a fan if you don't know the history of the PA? Like, come on, guys. Like,
How
put it
often
together.
did you watch SportsCenter when the NBA was locked out and the NFL was also locked out and there wasn't really anything happening?
To
I
be
watched
fair,
LeBron and Durant play flag football. I remember that.
Oh yeah, that did happen.
to be fair, this was the other one that I was very, very confident I thought I knew, and then I got it wrong when Josh asked me. So I'm just gonna say we all were watching during this time. Like we should, like you're gonna hear this if you don't know it, and it's gonna be a really cool, fun nugget. I'll just say that it's gonna be really, really interesting. Great job setting that up, Josh. You just
Oh my God, I should. No, I think I have no idea. But
you're like
you know
seeing.
what?
You're like seeing SportsCenter in your head. You're seeing the old, because when SportsCenter used to be good, you're seeing all
No, because
those.
I just remember it was a player. He wasn't like as good as of a player was like Chris Paul and CJ McCollum. I know it's just, but I just don't know who it is. I know it's a point guard. That's all I know. That's all I remember. It's a point guard.
Nick wants this to be tied going into the final question. This is good. All right, yeah.
Oh my God.
Grayson's like, I don't know, point guard.
Grayson's listening closely. Like, say it again. What is it? No.
Yeah.
All right.
Do we get any hints?
Oh no,
No.
oh no. You sound like you know it, so, or almost know it. So, Josh, let's think of a hint really quick. I think we could give one that.
I mean, there's a hint that's kind of
Okay, you know what? I'll do it. I got one. I got one that won't give it away.
okay.
This player is a 2-time NBA champion.
No, that's wrong.
He
Trevor?
won at least 2?
He's won 5 NBA titles, Trevor.
Sorry, yeah. So I'm sorry. Thank you. I don't know who am I thinking of. I'm looking at the answer and I still said that wrong. This player is a 5-time NBA champion. Thank you, Josh. I see it right here, and I'm like, yeah. I told you trivia was gonna be fun. I didn't mean it was gonna be me causing the fun. Okay. Yeah, 5-time NBA champion. Was that gonna be your hint too? Was that gonna be your hint?
My hint would probably. Mine will be an anecdote that we'll talk about after they give the answers.
Come on, one more hint.
He's like, I'm gonna pry it out of you.
Nick, I think my hint
All-Star or
would
10-time
be
All-Star?
way more beneficial to Grayson than it would to you, so I don't think it's a good idea.
All right, I think we're ready for the home stretch here of question 9. Whenever
Okay.
you guys
I think
are.
Grayson, you got to go first here.
Another guest coming from the 1009 podcast here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go random point guard Raymond Felton.
Felton, okay.
It is
Nick?
random. Okay. Yeah.
I was thinking that, but since I think the 5 championships gave it away, I'm going with Derek Fisher.
And I think Grayson now knows what the answer is. So the correct answer is Derek Fisher, a different former Oklahoma City Thunder point guard and former 5-time NBA champion.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I changed my answer like split second. I was like, first one you think of, and I said Felton, and then I don't even know if he won a single championship, but yeah,
No, he didn't.
He did not.
Not one.
not 2, not 5. Yeah, no.
He spent most of his career with the Charlotte Bobcats, so I don't know where you thought those titles came from.
So most of that question, I was holding this up for those on YouTube. Are gonna
Yeah,
see this.
Trevor he was a Laker for all 5 titles, and Trevor did not remember how many titles.
I forgot. Okay, I remember the last 2.
He seems so confident. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Hey, to be fair, it's not like I'm remembering like Robert Ory's history here. Like it's a guy that might be less important than Robert Ory all time. So
Trevor,
anyway,
he was your starting point guard in 09 and 2010.
Okay, don't get me started.
Starting point guard.
Robert Ory won 7 NBA championships. I'm pretty sure.
I know,
That
but
probably
you're
isn't
saying
right.
Derek Fisher is
Hey,
unimportant.
what about Derek Fisher shot with 0.4 seconds left to win that game?
That is. That's,
Come on now.
Now for no bonus points, can you name another memorable moment of his?
The
I'm just
entire time he's on OKC.
I'm just kidding. All right.
Is it 5-2?
To name another moment, he was an awful NBA head coach.
All right. Derek Fisher's no longer allowed to be a guest on the show.
Or no longer willing to.
Willing to be.
Derek,
yeah,
we would
that's
love for you to be a guest on our podcast.
right. All right. I am ready for question 10 if you are, Josh. 5-2. Unfortunately, this is only a 1-point opportunity. So, Grayson, if you get this right and Nick gets this wrong, you'll have an opportunity to make up some ground in the bonus round. So, we talked earlier a little bit about Charlotte Hornets retired jerseys. We're now going to talk about, really quick, for literally no reason, because I thought it was funny, interesting, whatever, the Miami Heat and their first player to be retired. So, No multiple choice. Who was the first player to have their jersey retired by the Miami Heat? I was about to say the Heat's like hashtag on Twitter, and I'm not going to lie to you, it literally left my brain the moment I went to say it.
Like Heat culture or something like
Heat
that?
culture, I don't We say that all the time.
Heat,
kind of,
I don't know.
Yeah.
We kind of make fun of it a little bit. We do say heat culture sometimes as a joke, but it's like...
Who was we?
I
don't think we've ever said heat
No.
culture on this podcast.
I make the heat culture joke all the time because I think it's funny that they were trying to get Donovan Mitchell, and he's the opposite of heat culture. So
apparently now the Hornets are looking at Donovan Mitchell.
thank you for taking my alley-oop. That was my alley-oop to you.
What is up with that? Like,
Not that these two need
I
any
don't want
distraction.
that. I really
They keep
hope
up with
that
Boston
doesn't
getting
happen.
Durant.
Huh?
They keep up with Boston getting Durant.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah, we need
not
Donovan
talk
Mitchell to
about
come
those.
in so he takes the ball and never lets LaMelo have it again, and starts telling LaMelo how this is his team now. Yeah, that's what we need.
To be fair, either one of them will warrant, depending on the package, especially, will warrant an emergency pod anyway. So it's going to be really funny. Either who cares where they go? We're going to talk about both of them when they happen.
Kevin Durant, when it happens, warrants an emergency pod. I don't know if Donovan Mitchell does. We can just
Hey,
lumped in the next
hold on.
week.
Hold on. In July, the trivia showdowns for the next 4 to 5 weeks. There is no
That's a good
next
point.
week. So
There
he's
is
getting
no
his own
next week.
podcast. It's July, guys. Come on, get it together. Guys, Josh, whatever.
I'm pretty confident about this one.
All right.
Oh, I love
Grayson?
to hear that. 'Cause
Which he's been pretty on today, too.
Grayson's like, man,
Like
I
he's
don't
2
like
for
being
2
on
when he
this
says
side
that.
of this trivia.
I've yet to
I'm
have
thinking
a
about it
guess.
because, they don't have that many jerseys retired.
No, they don't.
So, there is one from... Can I give a hint? I think I have the answer. I think I know the answer.
I mean, that's fine if you want. That's your call.
If you want to give a hint.
I'll give a hint. He played in the Heat in the 90s.
Okay. All right.
We
I
can
give you a
neither
baseline.
confirm or deny the accuracy of said hint.
Yeah, we will let that be what it is.
Whether or not that hint is helpful or not, we can neither confirm nor deny.
Or maybe I'm just joking. I'm just playing around. Trying to twist his head, you know?
It's like, maybe I'm just messing with him.
Yeah.
I've got a random guess again. I'm like 95% sure he played in Miami at some point. So as good as it's gonna get. Where are we at in the order with the
I
answers?
think Nick goes first.
Okay.
It's going to be funny because I seem so confident, but I'm probably going to be wrong. But I'll go with Alonzo Mourning.
Big
Good
Heat
guess.
legend, big Hornets legend there.
It's a good guess.
Grayson.
Grayson?
I have the exact same thing based on what he said.
All right. So,
So,
thank you, Josh.
Sorry about that, Nick. There's no way this is right.
I'll just say this now. I'm gonna lay this up for a second because there's a little bit of backstory to this. So, no, we're going to tell you right now that is not correct.
Okay.
Neither of you are correct.
My
So,
bad.
Alonzo.
let me give you a little reason why. So, there are currently only 2 players in NBA history, and one of them is the answer to this question, of course, that have been retired by a team that never played a game for them. One of them is Pistol Pete Maravich. He was retired by the Utah Jazz and the Hawks, who he played for, and then the Pelicans retired him because of the Jazz's history in New Orleans. Why does that matter to the Miami Heat, you're asking? The player that is retired by Pat Riley, it was Pat Riley's decision, was Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's jersey is retired by the Miami Heat.
It was the first one.
The first one. Pat Riley did not feel like there was a tenured player long enough, and, quote, he earned against the battles that we had in the Knicks, he earned the reputation. And Pat Riley, no one will ever wear the number 23 for the Miami Heat. You're the best. End quote.
As me as a Chicago fan, I should have known that. I had no idea.
Okay, so I told Josh this
Hence,
really quick.
this is why LeBron James did not wear 23 when he went to Miami, instead switched to number 6.
Bingo. So I told Josh this when we came up with the idea of Trivia Showdown. I wanted it to be A, difficult, B, fun, and C, I wanted people to learn something. And I feel like everybody listening, Education. If you're not a Miami Heat fan, then you probably just learned that today. Like, that is a really cool. That's probably one of my favorite right now. It's in my top. I don't have this written down anywhere like any other list, but it's probably one of my top 5, 10 favorite facts of all time in the NBA. That's unreal that that's even the case. And I actually found out the Pistol Pete one as I was confirming the quote for Pat Riley. It was actually included in the article by Basketball News. So. Really, really cool fun fact there. And obviously, I kind of accidentally slipped up at the very beginning. I don't know if you guys remember this. I said something about this might be the only time we do Chicago Bulls trivia, maybe today, this offseason, right? And I said something about Chicago Bulls trivia. Very, very small there, but it was an accidental slip up, I'll be clear. So, score update really quick. I believe it's still 5-2.
Still 5-2. But
right.
Depending on how this last one goes, could still be anybody's game. All right, I'll lead into the last question. So let me lay out what the rule will be before we get started. I'm going to start giving you guys this question. You can start writing potential answers down whenever you would like in the time that I'm reading this question. Eventually, I will let you know when I'm going to start a 60-second timer. Correct. When that time runs out, I will tell you, and you'll need to put your pencils down, and that'll be it. So if you want to try to jump on this and get a head start, go ahead, because I don't want to make you sit there and wait while I'm talking. But I'll go ahead and lead into this. This is the bonus round. Every answer that you get correct that you list will be 1 point. So earlier in this game, we talked about former Los Angeles Lakers stars that appeared in feature films. Well, the NBA's had a lot of stars star in movies over the years. You both have the next 60 seconds to write down the name of as many films as you can that starred an NBA player.
That does not include the ones that was named for Kareem. Airplane and the other one, the Kareem one,
yes,
Game of
you
Death and
cannot
Airplane do not count.
Use Airplane or Game of Death because I messed that one up there.
No, that was the answer that they both gave, so it was kind of funny that you named the one that they both gave. It was good.
So
Airplane
once again, I'll repeat, before starting the timer, I'll repeat the question. What films have starred an NBA player? It can be a player that was playing at the time or had played before. It doesn't matter when they did the film or when they played. All right. I'm starting the timer now.
For those on YouTube, you're going to see it right here. I love including the YouTube nuggets because that's my way of anybody who's listening on Apple, Google. This is me filling time. Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Podcorn, all of those awesome sites. And anybody who's listening on those, that's my plug to be like, hey, by the way, wink, wink, we're on YouTube. It's right below.
Yeah, we may have to, depending on how many they write down, it may take us a little bit here to decipher whether... Yeah, fact-check these potential answers.
I'm prepared. I've got another screen right here. I'm prepared.
Okay, to just start Googling.
I also found a list earlier.
I can think of several that are fun. Fun fact, one of the ones that came to my mind was when I was a little kid, I watched this movie over and over again. I have no idea why I liked it so much, but I would watch it just on repeat, basically.
Oh, there's one that drives me nuts. I forgot that there's a movie that Kevin Durant was in. I can't think of the freaking name.
Just keep writing, Nick.
Remember, you have a Thunder fan on here, so be careful what you say.
And...
That was the first one I wrote down.
Stop.
That's what I'm saying.
Pencils down. Time's up. Time's up.
Time's up. 60 seconds. Wow,
60 seconds gone.
By the way, you guys are the kind of the rats in the experiment here because we might have to extend that timer in future episodes. But 60 seconds felt like it was.
Well, I tried to give them a head start
exactly.
to write down as much as you can.
I am prepared to fact check. By the way, for the sake of this, please, if you know the player for sure, can you please say it? That would help us fact check.
What I think would be funny, I'm going to get a pen here. I think it would be funny if they went one at a time, like Grayson gave us an answer, and then we checked if it was correct and tally a point. Then we go to Nick, and Nick can name whatever the first one is on his list.
Go right ahead. I'm good with that.
So that way we can add some drama or suspense. Maybe.
Also,
okay, Grayson.
Keep up with the score as well.
I got it.
All right, here we go. I am fact check ready with the keyboard.
All right, I think that
give me your
Durant
first
movie
answer.
was Thunderstruck, I believe was the name of that movie.
Not even going to look it up. It's correct.
Okay.
All right, point for
It was
Grayson.
on the list. It was on the list
Nick,
of ones I found.
Did you also have Thunderstruck written down? Can you show us?
Nope, I did not.
Okay. So give me whatever's the first on your list, Nick.
Blue Chips. That's a throwback with Shaquille O'Neal, Penny Hardaway. There's some people on there.
Blue Chips is correct.
It's a really good one. I wrote in all bold for number 2 earlier, which is why we're doing this question for Josh. I said, do not read what these guys were in. And he read Airplane, and he read
I
Game
thought
of Death,
you meant
but
it
not
just
enough.
for. I thought you meant it just for like reading out the.
the people. Yeah,
Yeah, like when you're giving the multiple choice.
Either way, we know Airplane and Game of Death don't count, right? But Blue Chips was on that little do not read these names, and Blue Chips was on there. Good,
All
good
right,
pull.
so score
Correct.
6-3 above Grayson. Give us your next one, unless you also had Blue Chips and can confirm.
I did
you
not.
did.
That's one of
Okay.
those I should have. Another Shaq movie, Shazam, just because of how bad it was.
Damn it! I didn't have that. That's a good one.
Unfortunately, it's not correct. We can't give that to you because it's Kazam.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's how bad it was. Oh, man.
That's actually funny fact. That is actually the movie that inspired this question because I was looking up Lakers that played in movies because I thought that would be a cool question, and Kazam popped up first for Shaq. So I can't. If it wasn't the inspiration, I might have been a little lenient, and also the fact that you're down by 3.
Yeah, I'm thinking the app. I guess that's no.
I have. Or there's
Shazam,
a movie
Kazam,
Shazam.
yeah,
It's not-
whatever.
Kazam. Oh my
Kazam.
gosh. I've never seen this movie. Should
I
have
haven't
seen it?
either, but I do know it.
Yeah,
It's
I
good.
haven't either.
That's a good
And
pull.
it's
Honestly,
American
I'm impressed.
musical fantasy comedy.
He was
It's
in
like
it.
one of
I
the
mean,
worst
it was-
movies of all time,
A
apparently.
lot.
Yeah, it popped up first for what it's worth on my search.
Really?
Shaq is a 5,000-year-old genie that appears from a magic
Yeah.
boombox.
It's as ridiculous as you think it is. Yeah.
That sounds about right. All right. So, unfortunately, Kazam slash
Maybe he can
Shazam is
replace
not
Will
correct.
Smith in the next Aladdin. I mean, he's got experience. Okay. Oh,
Bigger
sorry.
rug, but yeah.
Nick, give me your next.
Yeah. So this one was. It's probably top 3 favorite basketball movie of my lifetime. I like Mike. There's a lot of basketball players.
There we
in that
go.
movie.
Like Mike.
Like
Yes,
Mike.
sir.
Mike, that is a great movie.
That's the one that I said I rewatched
Like you said,
over and
Allen
over again as a
Iverson-
kid.
Allen Iverson, Jason Kidd, Dirk Nowitzki,
Yes, sir.
Michael Finley were all in that movie.
Yeah, that was a great pull. Pulled up the cast really quick for those that I've never
Starring
seen it for
Lil
some
Bow
reason.
Wow.
Lil Bow
Main
Wow.
character.
Yep.
Yeah.
Little Bow Wow. You also had Brenda Song, Eugene Levy, Allen Iverson, like you said, Jason Kidd, Michael Finley, Reggie Theus, Steve Francis, Tracy McGrady, Gary Payton, David Robinson, Rasheed Wallace,
Carter.
Alonzo Mourning, John Thompson the First. I think that's it. I've ran out.
If anyone
That's a lot,
doesn't
though.
see it, it's Bow Wow finds MJ sneakers and becomes an NBA basketball talent, and so they just let him start playing in the league at 12 years old. And then he goes and interacts with all these NBA players. It's great.
Oh, sorry. Mark Cuban, Dirk Nowitzki, and Vince Carter and Chris Webber were the last 3. And Karl Malone, sorry, were the last. That was a lot of people. That was wow. Okay. I just thought that was interesting to read, and that was way too many.
All right. Score now stands at Nick 7, Grayson 3. Grayson, did you have Like Mike?
I know there's 2 or 3 of those movies. I could not think of the name of the franchise. I think there was a second one as well, maybe.
Were you thinking Air Bud? Were you thinking Air Bud potentially?
No, was there not a second Like Mike movie?
I think there was a Like Mike
Street
too,
Ball.
yeah.
Like Mike Street Ball.
Okay, yeah.
It had like
No, I
nothing.
just-
It had like half the amount.
But none of those written down.
No,
Okay.
unfortunately not.
So
yeah,
give us
there
the
was
next one on your list.
He had Air Bud.
The
1,
original
2, 3.
Space Jam was
Space Jam, yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Space Jam. Yeah.
I was wondering if you guys were going to somehow go through this and just not like name Space Jam. Nick, did you also have Space Jam?
I'm assuming.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
assuming the Bulls fan probably had Space Jam.
So
Yeah,
8
now
to
I'm in
4.
trouble.
We'll cross that one off for Nick. Let's bounce back to Grayson again. Grayson, give us the next one on your list.
speaking of sequels, it didn't live up to the hype. Space Jam 2.
That is correct. Space Jam 2. Nick, did you also have Space Jam 2? Okay.
Yeah. All right. So
Got that out of the way. So
I
9 to
have-
5.
I have something I need to admit really quick because I knew this was going to happen. I have not seen it yet.
Space
I
Jam
haven't
2.
either.
because I don't want to ruin the
Me
first.
neither.
I don't want to
Yes,
ruin
like-
the first one.
Yes.
I've seen it. It's hilarious if you don't like LeBron James.
Okay. Which. Okay. That's fair.
So so I would like it. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
If you don't like LeBron, it's quite funny. I found it funny.
All right. What's the next one? I think we both crossed.
Back to
off
Grayson. It's
1 and
9 to
2.
5. So it's still a 4-point lead for Nick.
Yeah, the only things I've written down are LeBron rom-com. He was in it for 5 minutes. I don't know what the name of it was.
This is the
then-
one I was alluding to. I was alluding to this
Right.
one earlier.
That was the first thing. I really wrote Thunderstruck and then LeBron rom-com, and in the next 90 seconds, I could not pull the name of it.
I have it for you when you're ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
It is Trainwreck.
I have it written down.
That sums up my performance
that's a
pretty
pull.
well. Yeah.
That,
Nick
that
has a
is a
Trainwreck.
pull. Wow, I was wrong on the year,
And
by the
Matt,
way.
10 to
The
5.
year, I was way wrong on the year, by the way, because the year was 2015. I thought it was 2018 for some reason. Obviously, Hustle, it pops up as well, and I watched it. And I don't remember LeBron being in that, so maybe Hustle's not a good choice there. But
I'll tell you what, LeBron played. He was a great actor in that movie. I give him credit for that one.
in Trainwreck, really? I have to watch it. I think I probably.
I think
It was pretty
decent.
brief,
He was-
but yeah, he did well.
Yeah.
Amy Poehler, is that how you say her name? Amy something? I don't know. Let me look it up. We're looking
Amy
it up right
Schumer?
as we're.
Is it Schumer? Yeah.
It's directed by Judd Apatow. Yeah, Amy Schumer. Sorry,
I think
right.
John Cena is also in Trainwreck.
John Cena is. He pops up as the image for it.
Yeah.
Colin Quinn. Yep. Yeah, that's good. Okay, you might have to watch that one. It's on available on Peacock. No free ads. So, anybody else got
Okay,
anything else?
so
So I have 2 more written down.
Grayson, how many more do you
Great.
have written?
2 less than that.
Oh, you'd have no more. Okay, Nick,
No,
let's
this
roll
is-
us through those
By
last.
the way,
blowout
this is for
territory.
point. This is per points all time. So Nick currently going into the next week, somebody's gonna have to get potentially 11. That's insane. That's a heck of a week. We're gonna have to make sure these are hard.
Nick, what are your last couple?
I love this bonus question. Oh, Netflix recently just made this Hustle.
Yeah,
So a lot of
said it.
names,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
Anthony Edwards. You know, there's a lot of talent in that movie.
Hot
starring
take.
Juancho Herman Gomez.
Josh, have you seen it by the way? Before I
No,
say
I
this,
haven't watched it yet.
Okay, I'll
That's
just say
really
this.
good.
No spoilers. Okay, well then I'm definitely going to say this now. It was one of the worst movies I've seen in a long time.
I remember you
Now,
saying that. We got
sports movies.
You're the
sports
only
movies,
person I've
it's
heard
good.
that from, Trevor.
Sports,
like
from
everyone
a
else I've
sports-
listened to said they loved it.
Okay, from a sports movie, if you're getting example, my fiance watched it with me. She loved it. She thought it was a great movie. From the movie, other side of it, for basketball nerds, there's multiple things it hits, and maybe I'll rewatch it and like it more. But it hits the basketball nerd thing. You see all these players, you recognize every one of them, and then you watch the credits and go, I missed 7 people that I thought I saw, and then you watch and you're like, oh, it's a rom-com and all this stuff. So it was one of the worst movies I've seen in the last 5 years, but it was also very, very enjoyable from multiple different levels. So, I guess that's not a hot take. I don't know, but Hustle's a good one. What's your next one, Nick?
This one was probably my favorite basketball movie. He Got Game. Ray Allen. Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Yeah, I had a feeling somebody was going to pull that one. Yeah, that's on the short list of all-time movie jerseys I want for sure. Jesus Shuttlesworth. It's really hard to fit. It's just the whole back of the jersey, but it's still cool. So, man, what a pull, dude. Honestly, that you might honestly. I hate to say this right this early in Trivia Showdown, but it's gonna be really hard for someone to get 11 points again because 10 questions and then a multiple choice, whatever at the end or a multi-answer. That's man, people are gonna have to really, really pull those. That's gonna be good, man. I'm excited. So stay tuned to find out if Nick gets dethroned. Currently, really proud of the fact that someone got 11 points. I want to reiterate, Josh and I thought
He got
that
12 points.
12 points. Wow.
I say he had 2 more. Yeah.
Okay, so then, wow.
To name
All
some
right.
other movies
job.
of basketball players you could have gone for, the Scary Movie franchise film starring Shaquille O'Neal, Steel also starring Shaquille O'Neal, White Men Can't Jump starred former NBA
That's a
player
joke.
Marcus Johnson.
Yeah.
Those were just
I have
I have one too now.
I have a fun one. Go ahead. We'll end with this. Go ahead.
Wasn't Shaq in one of the Scary Movies?
Yep, Josh said that.
Yeah, you said the franchise.
Oh, did
It's
you?
like
Oh, my
16.
bad. Okay.
I can't remember which Scary Movie one he was in, to be honest, but he's in probably 3 or something.
Multiple.
I think it was yeah. Was he in 4?
Yeah, I think he was in.
I don't know if he was in the first one. That's why I would have hesitated on that. I would have just written down them all. I'm just going.
This is the one that blew. This is the one that blew my mind with the research, and we can end with this. Kobe appeared in Daddy's Home. Adam Sandler's Daddy's Home, one of the most underrated Adam Sandler movies of all time. That
Oh,
blew
yeah, he
my,
did.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've seen that movie 100 times, and I don't remember it. I completely don't have a recollection for those watching on YouTube that this guy right here, who's 4 times behind me, I forgot that Kobe was in Daddy's Home. I had no idea, and he was also in Love and Basketball. And then there was multiple
Yes,
others
he
we had
was.
written down.
It's a good
Yeah,
one,
Love and
too.
Basketball. 17 again has some NBA players in it as well. Uncle Drew. Uncle Drew's one I'm kind of shocked by.
Oh, how did I not
Yeah, I
not
forgot
write
that
that
one,
one
too.
down?
Semi-pro. I think that's pretty much it of all the decent ones I'd be willing to mention. Anybody we didn't name, put it in the comments below. Put it in your 5-star rating on Apple Spotify, thank you, as well as tweet at us, Instagram message, whatever. Let us know your favorite basketball movie that we didn't name. Really quick, I'll get this out of the way. At 2Pointers on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok is at the 2Pointers Podcast. Please follow, subscribe, like, comment, everything. All the links for these two guys will be below. We'll also do like any other episode. Go ahead and we've got another few minutes, whatever. Grayson, give about 30-second plug really quick. Throw it to Nick, give a 30-second plug, and we'll get out of here.
Sure. Yeah, all our content gets cross-posted on Twitter at the 1009, the O being the letter O, and then we actually have a website right now, the1009.com for our written content, any updates for episode scheduling, things like that. You'll find us there. And as we expand social media, we'll get it out on Twitter. But I'll let Nick take over.
Yeah, so for the National Ability Basketball League, you can find, if you look that up, you can find that on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And there's one thing I want to say. If anybody that gets on the show that does the trivia comes close to my point total, I might have to have a one-on-one matchup.
Oh, he's already laying down the gauntlet.
I like it.
He's saying he'll come back, get his crown.
I love it. All right. Hey, if there's a tie, you will have to. Somebody will have to win this. That's the thing. Somebody's gonna have to win this. So if it's a tie, then you're definitely back on anyway. So there you go. Awesome, Josh. Anything else before we get out of here?
No. Coming from our makeshift podcast recording studio, with our first winner, Nick LaVere, final score of 12-5. This has been the 2 Pointers Podcast. I'm Josh.
And I'm Trevor.
And we'll see you guys next week. Later.